The idea I'm going to present here is a software tool that will reduce the gap between the research community and the general community, allowing members of the general community to actively participate in ongoing research. This is very important for science in general because progress in science requires new hypotheses, a variety of hypotheses to be tested, and which means that if more people are participating in science, that means more perspectives are being presented, and there might be different perspectives that are overlooked by the research community. And if the general community is able to participate, they might open doors to new hypotheses that might explain observations that have not been explained. So this is what the interface of this program will look like. There will be a globe that the users will be able to navigate through, and as they zoom in into certain areas of the globe, such as say if I zoom into the Seattle area here, I might see an icon of a lab member, a research lab member who's actually ready to post their the results of their research. And when the user double clicks on that icon, they would be taken to a comic book, much like the one you see here. This is a synthetic biology comic book that has become popular just because it explains research in a much more visual and understandable way that's convenient for just somebody who's not in the research community. So tools like tools for creating comics, such as the one you see here, will be created. So this is just another a comic maker that's available on the web called readwritethink.org. So I'm just showing an example of a comic maker. So here you can create different backgrounds, and you can insert people, insert statements that people are saying. So basically this is an example of a comic maker. So my idea is that, so here's another example of a comic maker for Marvel characters. So the idea would be that researchers would be able to, I would make a new comic creator that will allow researchers to create comics of their research, the ideas they had and how they arrived at the result, and all the intermediate challenges and thoughts that they had. So this would be a nice open ground for researchers to express their feelings about the research, and the ideas they had, what didn't work, and what they were wondering, the thought process, things like that. And now if a member of the community is able to understand the research, they might want to get involved in it. They might have ideas for solving some of the problems. So sometimes it's an option for a research lab to post quests or open questions that have not been answered in their lab. There might be several questions that the research lab is just unable to answer given the data that they have. So they can post these open quests or open challenges to the community, and when a user of this program double clicks on that challenge, it'll show a little graphical explanation of the challenge and why the research lab or members of the lab are confused. And now the community has a chance, members of the community have a chance to collect data from across the world and present it to this particular researcher and say, look, there are these other labs doing all these work, here's some data, and I have this new hypothesis. And the hypothesis will be presented not in just boring text, but much like so there's a mystery game online called shades.play, the URL you see here. So the answer to the quest will be presented in much more like a mystery game fashion. So in summary, the users are able to just explore the globe, find research labs, and look for quests that research labs are unable to answer, and collect data from other labs, present it back to the research labs in form of graphical mystery game kind of solutions. That way, sort of completing a circle, allowing the researchers to gain from the community and the community to learn about ongoing research. So that's sort of the summary of this game. It will obviously require interest on so it will obviously require interest from the researchers and of course from some members of the community. But basically this sort of an opening is not currently available. It's currently if the community members need to participate in research, they have to go through journal articles, which are, although they are readable, it's just the barrier to read a research article, understand all the results, and contribute back it's a very large barrier, which is why there is sort of a growing gap between active research and the community, which is obviously detrimental for science. So that's basically the idea.